guys, and welcome back to my channel. I decided today to do a video of my fall Halloween books that I want to read. So again, along with the self-care thing, doing this video for a couple of reasons. One, it kind of goes with the season, but it's also going to help keep me accountable, kind of give me some motivation to actually try and tackle these books in the months of September, October, and November. Hopefully just like halfway through November. I have always been an avid reader. I've read religiously my entire life, sometimes some would call obsessively, and I have really stopped that and lost that somewhere along the way over the last, I'd say 2 to 3 years. This last year, really badly. I think I read 13 books last year, which in my life is like criminal. That's barely a book a month. So I decided, again, in a way to kind of motivate myself to kind of pick a theme. Since we are in this fall Halloween season, I decided to go with all books that are kind of scary or horror, mystery theme type books. Some of these are going to be rereads for me of old favorites. Some are ones that have been on my to-be read pile for far too long. And then just some new ones that I've heard about or wanted to pick up because other people mentioned them. So I'm just going to go through real quick what I'm reading. And then hopefully when I'm done, I will do another video to recap hopefully all of these books, but if not, the books that I got through and kind of give a review of what I thought about them. So currently, the first book I decided to start in this pile is this one by Nora Roberts called Dark Witch. It's actually a series, it's a trilogy of 3 books about a family of witches, obviously. I'm not a huge Nora Roberts fan. Sometimes her books are a little too cheesy romance for me. But I'm enjoying this. I don't know that I'll read the whole series, but I'm about 3/4 of the way through it right now. It's not, I mean, I don't love it. I don't hate it. It just is what it is, but I'll give you a review when I'm done, like I said. So this is the first one I'm reading. The second one I have here, this is going to be a reread for me. This is Anne Rice's The Witching Hour. It's a pretty good sized book. This is actually an all-time favorite for me. I probably read this for the first time when I was in high school. But it is probably on my top 10 like favorite books of all time. I know that I zipped through it when I read it the first time. So I'm hoping it'll be just as quick of a read this time. It's been, well, we won't talk about how long it's been since I read this book because, well, let's just not revisit how old we are. That's something none of us really want to do. So anyway, this one is also part of a series, if anybody's read Anne Rice, the Mayfair Chronicles. It's a whole series of books. I believe I did read all the books in this series when I read this book. I enjoyed them, but I didn't love the rest of the series. But this book I absolutely loved. So I'm looking forward to rereading this and seeing if I enjoy it just as much now, however many years later as I did when I read it the first time. So then on a little lighter note, a couple other ones that I picked up. Well, actually, we'll start with this one. Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. This is a classic. I have never read it. I've heard about it. I know some people say, you know, Halloween, spooky, nightmarish, feel-wise, this is a great book and a must-read. So I decided I was going to pick this one up and step outside of my comfort zone and try this one. So I'll let you know what I think about this. Then when I ordered this one on Amazon, you know how they always give you a suggestion of, well, if you buy this and pair it with this too, you get this price. And it actually wasn't a huge difference. So they suggested 2 other books that are actually kind of still in this genre of spooky, scary kind of mystery books. So I went ahead and ordered the other 2. for a couple of reasons. This one is a short book. So sometimes I feel like after you read something really long and heavy, you need something, just a quick read to kind of just lighten things up. So this one is called The Halloween Tree, also by Ray Bradbury. But it's just a short book. It's only 100 and probably less than 150 pages. So, and it is about actually Halloween night. So that's kind of fun. Maybe I'll try and read this one like right at Halloween. But again, just a short, quick read, still along the theme. So I will hopefully get to this one. Then the other one by Ray Bradbury that I got is called The October Country. And this will also be a good one because it's a book of short stories. So again, if I just want something to read quickly, I can maybe just pick this up and read a couple of stories, set it down, move on to something else. But again, there's the cover of that one. I'll let you know how I like this. I did see somebody else read this and review it and say they were really enjoying it and that a lot of the stories were pretty spooky. So I'm looking forward to reading this one in October as well. Then the next one I have is also another old favorite. I don't know if anybody has ever read The Wednesday Witch by Ruth Chu, but this is something that I think maybe a teacher read to us. I want to say maybe in like second, maybe third grade. I want to say second because I feel like my second grade teacher read us a lot of really great books. But for some reason, this was always one of my childhood favorites that I remember. So I ordered this on Amazon a long time ago just to have it in my collection as, you know, one of my favorite books. And since it's obviously about a witch, I figured this would be a good time to also revisit this one. So again, a short book. It'll be hopefully a quick read, light read, but still along the theme. And I'll be reading something. So that one I'm looking forward to rereading as well because it's kind of nostalgic. And then the last one I have here is Stephen King. I used to love reading Stephen King. I devoured Stephen King for years. And then I feel like his books started to get, I was going to say his books started to get weird. Really? But the first 20 you read weren't weird? Let's be real. Stephen King books are weird. But somewhere along the way, they just got way weird to me. I really enjoyed his older books, and even some that I read probably like in the 90s when I was in high school, and maybe some that I read into college. But then I feel like he started doing like collab books with other authors, and topics just kind of got kind of out there. They weren't the traditional like horror, scary books that he used to write, and he kind of lost me for a while. But I am excited to read this one. Dr. Sleep, if anybody knows, this is a sequel to The Shining. And my understanding is that it takes up and carries on with Dan's life, the son in The Shining, his life after The Shining. And I've heard great things about it. People have said it's if you liked The Shining, you'll enjoy this story. So I picked it up a while ago. It's been in my pile for ages, but I'm looking forward to reading this one too. So I will let you know what I think when I get done. This one is also a pretty good chunky one, so it will probably take me a little while, but I am going to try to tackle these. So like I said, I'm going to work on these through this month, next month for sure. If I need to go into November, depending on how many I get through, I may keep going if it's just like 1 or 2 books into November to just knock out the whole pile. Ideally, I'd love to be done with them by Halloween, end of October, but I'm not. I'm being realistic here. I'm trying to keep myself accountable and motivated to do this, but at the same time, I have a life and work and everyday things that also need to be taken care of. So I'm almost done with this first book. Then that's going to leave me with, 3 decent-sized books to tackle, and then 3 pretty light reads that I should be able to bust out in, a couple of days tops. So I feel like it's doable as long as I stick to it. I'm actually hoping to finish this one tonight. I think I'm about, I'm have a little more than 100 pages left in this, but I just finished everything else that I needed to do around here for tonight. So that's going to be my focus for the rest of the night, I think, unless I just get really tired and decide bed is a better option. But that is my plan, guys. So if you have any other suggestions or book ideas that you think would be good for this kind of a themed reading plan, let me know. Depending on how this goes, maybe I'll plan to do it again for winter, like December, January, maybe do some winter Christmas type books. I know I do usually like to read some Christmas books right around the holidays. They tend to be a little more cheesy and lighthearted. I don't read a lot of like romance and that kind of stuff that gets too corny. I can't. You know, like reading a Hallmark movie just isn't going to work for me. Every once in a while I can do it to kind of lighten things up, but it's hard for me to read a lot of that. So, but yeah, if you have any ideas, other good ideas, books in this category, or maybe something I could look to do for winter heading into the Christmas holidays to make another pile, that would be great. I could get some things ordered and ready to go to do this again for the winter season. So that's all, guys, and I appreciate any feedback or comments, any recommendations. Not that I need any more books, but I'm always looking for another good book. So if you have anything that's an absolute must read, please let me know. I always love to hear about them. And thanks for popping in. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.